Welcome to the largest show cave in the Northeast, Howe Caverns. Since we reopened in 1929, more than 14 million visitors have come to view this underground wonderground, making it the second most visited natural attraction in New York State. Before you begin your adventure, we hope you enjoy this presentation as you find out more about the unique world you are about to explore. The Howe Caverns story begins millions of years ago. According to scientists, the limestone rocks began to form long before the ancient extinct animal known as the woolly mammoth appeared on Earth. In those early days, what is now the eastern coast of North America was covered by a warm tropical sea, filled with plants and many creatures that built their shells from minerals they gathered from the waters around them. Many generations of these creatures lived and died in their watery home, and very slowly the bottom of the sea became covered with hundreds of feet of the creatures' empty shells and fine particles of dirt, forming a type of rock called limestone. Then, more than 100 million years ago, the continent of North America began to rise slowly out of the sea. Rain fell gently upon the new land, and water soaked into the ground. Since the limestone beds made by the sea creatures were softer than many rock formations, the rainwater trickling down from the ground above soon began to eat away the top layers of the rocks. Small cracks opened up to the rock layers below, and the rainwater dissolved its way through them. In time, the small cracks grew to be large cracks, through which underground streams flowed. This is how the great cave and winding passageways of Howe Caverns were formed. Even today, Howe Caverns is a work in progress. We still hear, see, and feel the droplets of water falling from the cave ceiling, seeping down from the ground that's above us. If you feel a drop of water while visiting the cave, we call them cave kisses. They're good luck and a reminder that Howe Caverns is still a living cave. As this water drips slowly through the cave's roof, the droplets evaporate, leaving behind tiny amounts of limestone on the cavern ceiling. This is how the formations called stalactites grow, downward from the vaulted cavern roof over the course of millions of years. The stone formations that grow up from the cavern floor are created in the same manner. Sometimes large droplets of water filtering through the cave roof don't have time to evaporate before they roll down a stalactite and drip off to the cave floor below. That's why stalagmites usually form directly below stalactites and continue to grow. Stalactites grow from cavern ceilings, while stalagmites grow upward from the ground. The red, yellow, and gray colors you will see come from mineral deposits in the soil. Green is usually moss. For millions of years, the cave kept a silent presence below the Earth's surface. By the 19th century, rumors began in the Schoharie Valley about the existence of a cave. There was a legend that on the hottest of days, a cool breeze came from what was then called Blowing Rock. In the early 1800s, near this blowing rock, a farmer named Lester Howe settled with his family on a farm in the valley east of Cobleskill. In 1842, the alert farmer noticed that his dairy herd always pastured in the same spot, not on his land, but land owned by his neighbor, Henry Wetzel. As Howe approached his herd, he noticed the change in temperature. It was getting cooler. Slowly and carefully, he pulled aside the bushes. Lester Howe had found Blowing Rock, giving credit for the discovery to his cow, Millicent. On May 22, 1842, Howe entered the cave with his neighbor, Henry Wetzel. Each day they would explore a little farther. Each time they would emerge wet and muddy, but exalted by the thrill of their discoveries. In February 1843, Howe purchased the property from Henry Wetzel for $100. The next year, at age 33, Lester Howe opened Howe's Cave to the public, and it was wildly successful for generations. By the late 1800s, however, Lester Howe was forced to sell his property because a fickle public had lost interest in caves. In 1900, a cement company purchased the entire hillside, including the cave's natural entrance. It was more profitable to manufacture cement than cater to tourists. Eventually, the cement works overwhelmed the small village proudly known as Howe's Cave. The rebirth of the Howe Caverns we know today took place between 1926 and 1929, in large part the work of two remarkable men, John Mosner and Walter Sagendorf. Work began to build walkways and install electric lights in the cave, and to build the elevators and above-ground visitor center lodge. It was on May 27, 1929, that the much-awaited grand reopening of Howe's Cave as Howe Caverns Incorporated took place. On this occasion, more than 2,000 visitors toured what was once known as Blowing Rock, Lester Howe's great wonder down under. And it has been open to the public ever since, welcoming generations to safe, wholesome adventure. The Howe Caverns adventure begins with your descent in one of two 20-passenger elevators, which travel the 156-foot, 48-meter shafts, the equivalent of a 16-story building, in 30 seconds. Almost immediately, you'll notice the purity of the air and the ever-constant temperature of 52 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 degrees Celsius. Then, brick walkways with convenient handrails and strategic lighting unfold as visitors make their way through the underground world. Here are some of the highlights you'll experience. The underground river, still on its mission to carve this subterranean world. The unique boat ride on the underground Lake of Venus. The winding way, considered among the best examples of underground water erosion in the world. Titan's Temple, the largest room in the cave. If you brought a camera, please take all the pictures you wish. You will need to use your flash, and close-up photos will be better than long-distance ones. For generations, we at Howe Caverns have considered visitor and employee enjoyment, safety and security, as well as the protection of our fragile underground environment, to be among our primary responsibilities. The cave is accessible for most, but because of Mother Nature's whim, the Caverns tour itself is not handicapped accessible. We are unable to accommodate strollers or wheelchairs in the cave. If you have physical or health issues that may prevent you from walking 1 mile, about 12 city blocks, including some unavoidable stairs, please inquire before you begin your tour. If you are planning to tour the cave, remember to follow the motto used by cavers around the world. Take nothing but photos, leave nothing but footprints, kill nothing but time. For your safety and to ensure that this natural wonder survives for another 10 million years, we ask that you observe some guidelines. Thank you for your cooperation, understanding, and help in monitoring your own safety. Please secure the following items in your vehicle or our storage cabinets before you begin your cavern tour. Backpacks and baby backpack carriers. Please note, we can accommodate baby front carriers. Large bags including diaper bags, camera bags, and large purses. Strollers and walkers. While touring, remember, stay warm. Bring a sweatshirt, jacket, or sweater with you. It's 52 degrees, 12 degrees Celsius in the cave. Footwear. Wear comfortable walking shoes. Walkways can get damp. Restrooms. There are none in the cave. Everyone is encouraged to use the above-ground restrooms before beginning the tour. Food and beverages. Please dispose of all items before entering the caverns. Thanks for visiting Howe Caverns. Now, enjoy your stay. Get ready for your tour and find out why we say you never forget how.